Yeah, I have it live too right now.
Welcome to Chandler, Arizona at Chandler Gilbert Community College, home for Brusa FC in their first home game as part of the second half of a doubleheader here on the NFPL YouTube channel. If you watch the first half, Futsal Factory took care of business on the road against Inter Detroit. They already have cemented the #1 seed in the Midwest. For the second half of our doubleheader, we're going to a Southwest showdown here in Chandler, Arizona. The Santa Fe Gloom on the road in their last game of the season, going up against Brusa FC in their first game at home. So interesting how both of these teams are opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of how many games they've played up to this point. Santa Fe 1-6, just a disappointing season after making the semifinals last season, only 3 points on the year. And they got a bit of a hodgepodge team. Their head coach, Leandro Carlos, as well as their general manager, David Fresquez, set to take the floor today, both in their season debut. Jorge Morales is really their only mainstay that's playing tonight. 7 goals allowed a couple months ago in one of the matchups against Brusa on January 18th. But a lot of players making their season debut, including Peter Tomas, Andrew Borrego, and Cadence Alexander. We'll make sure to point those out to you. For Brusa FC, it's been a successful year up to this point. 3-1, 9 points, tied for second in the Southwest with New Mexico Flagship, who they lost to a couple weeks ago. They'll get another chance at them next week at home, I believe as part of a doubleheader on a Saturday-Sunday matchup. Patrick Wilson set to take goal for them. And a lot of their top players playing this evening, including Jonathan Caceres-Leiva, Brian Uribe, as well as head coach slash manager slash do-it-all, Kawe Martins as well. But serving as the head coach in this instance is going to be Johnny Alves. It's kind of a head coach by committee for these guys. Mix of Alves, Martins, as well as Cristian Lima from Brazil. Let's talk about the keys to the game for Brusa. They talked about giving up no easy goals and making sure they're hot on transition defense. So you're going to see a lot of movement out of them on the back side. For Santa Fe, there's a similar strategy for them. They want to have solid defense, and they also want to pounce on the counterattack. So expect to see Santa Fe with a little more up-tempo, pressure offense potentially in their last game of the year. They want to go out on a bang. Each team plays 8 games in the Southwest. So like we mentioned, Santa Fe last game of the season. Brusa FC has hit their halfway point. They got 3 more games after this, including 2 next weekend against New Mexico Flagship. They lost 5-2 2 weeks ago. We are just about all set and ready to go here in Chandler, Arizona. This is the home of the 2025 NFPL Championship game. Not sure if it'll be at this specific location or a different one for Brusa. Big thank you to them and their hospitality in the future. I'm not sure if I introduced myself. My name is Garrett Pogg. I am not in Chandler, Arizona. I am broadcasting remotely from my humble abode in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Big thank you to all of our Eastern Time folks hanging out at 10 p.m. game time, as we're getting ready to start here in just a little bit. It is going to be Santa Fe starting off. That's Jordan Maldonado getting things underway. Leandro Carlos, who we talked about, head coach, now a player for this team. A little bit of pressure on this defense. And the corner goes out, remains with Santa Fe. You can't end the season on 1 win. This would be so important for them to kind of screw over Brusa in the standings a little bit. Brusa, I'm sure, kind of not guaranteeing this isn't an easy win, but probably has it in their minds that, oh yeah, this is a game that they should win. Just got to take care of business. Here's Patrick Wilson, keeper part of the offense. Now, ball will flip. That's Kawe Martins. Goes off of a Gloom player, so it is going to be a corner. First corner of the game for Brusa, for either team. Santa Fe, a bit of a short roster as well. We talked about kind of a hodgepodge mix of guys making their season debut tonight. For some of them, their team debut. Send it back to Wilson. Ball will swing around. That's Martins again. Past half court, off of the foot. It's a turnover. Carlos puts it back in. That's back to Jorge Morales. Who swings it over. That's Jeremy Valdez, one of the typical players for this team, so when we see often in the lineup. Kits are represented on your scoreboard. Brusa in the yellow and black signature kits that they've donned all year last year. In Santa Fe, going with the black tops and the white bottoms. That shot is a little too high from half court. We've seen them don the all-white kits, but not tonight. So ball flips around. That's Micah Vasey. Would have a double team. This ball goes out of bounds off the foot of Johnny Ruiz. A lot of international players for this Brusa team, as that's Jan Brando de Nascimento. We'll make sure we get that right for you. Leandro Carlos trying to cause some havoc. Ball goes past the back, but not able to take advantage. This is Maldonado, so possession goes back to Brusa. Excellent deflection there by Valdez to send it out. A Guatemala native. Typically the starting pivot for this team. Sends in to the corner. Blocking that one out is Valdez once again. So second corner for Brusa. Just a few minutes into this matchup. First home game for Brusa. Have had a successful season so far. Started off on a 3-game win streak. Then lost to New Mexico 5-2 just a couple weeks ago. Great deflection, trying to take advantage. Here's the counterattack that we talked about. Wants his buddy in the corner. Here's Carlos. Shot's a little too wide to the left. And Wilson was quick on that one. I think it would have been a save either way, but Regardless, no shots on goal just yet. Only a few minutes in. A lot of youth typically on the Santa Fe team. I'm not sure with these guys on the court specifically, but with their typical lineup, they had to go with a lot of younger players, which could lead to the 1-6 record if you wanted to explain it away. Here's Carlos, near side court. Wants someone down there, far side corner, wants it out. That is Maldonado kicking it against the leg of a Brusa player. They will reset. Carlos, near side. Getting their keeper involved, that's Morales. Valdez out to Carlos. Sends a shot, wants it off the deflection, and goes into the hands of Patrick Wilson. Off the leg of a Brusa player, so not quite a save, but is about as close as you can get without earning that statistic. Here's a shot on goal, straight into the stomach for Jorge Morales. That wide frame able to block a lot of shots. You really got to pin it up there in the corner, one of the four, if you want to be able to score against him. Gave up 7 goals against his team on January 18th. And assuming he was in the February game that these teams played, he would have given up 6. Was not able to confirm that with our teams prior to game time. Had some good conversations with the coaches prior to this game starting, as that shot, if you can call it that, goes wide off the mark. He recognized Morales was out of the goalpost, so he tried to send it in as far as he could. 63 people watching live. We thank you for your support on a late night doubleheader, second half of a doubleheader, excuse me. They're going to call that the first foul of the day on Brusa. Set piece off wide. That's saved, or at least sent out of bounds. Not sure if Patrick Wilson got a hand on it. He did. That is his first save of the day. So corner, near side. Carlos puts it in. Maldonado wants a shot. Not Maldonado, excuse me. That's Morales. And it hits off one of the windows. Thankfully, it didn't go through. Otherwise, that's a pretty expensive bill they'd have to pay. Trying to do some fancy footwork. Able to get it to his teammate. Wants it off the leg of a Gloom player, and that's what he got. So just over 5 minutes into this game, no score as of yet. He's 0-0. Brusa in their first home game of the season. Santa Fe in their last game of the season. Not a lot of their typical goal scorers, so they're going to have to get pretty crafty if they want to be able to score against this highly talented Brusa team. Here's Maldonado. Nope, that's Ruiz that got the ball taken away from him. Ball sent back to Nascimento. Excellent ball movement here. Martins gets it out. Far side. Goes back to Martins. Vasey sends it out wide once again. Defense by Yorami Valdez. As Jonathan Caceres Leiva, I've said his name for the first time today, scored 2 goals in that January 18th game. Here's Matus Lima Becerra, who also scored 2 goals of his own, so those 2 will probably be very important to this game plan. Although with a Brusa team like this, anybody can score. That's good defense. Maldonado able to send it out. That Fixo starter that they have. Looks like Valdez got a kick to the stomach. He's going to sit on the ground. He wants a minute. The ref's not giving it to him as of yet. And yes, they are. It looks like players are starting to gather off the court as Andrew Borrego checks in. Valdez back on his feet, holding his stomach just a little bit, but play will continue. Tough man that he is. Ball not sent in quite yet. Here's Brusa off the set piece. Goes off the leg of a Gloom player. Back out wide, that's Martins. Out wide, finds Vasey near side. Looking to reset, trying to pick apart this defense. in front of them. That's Caceres, or that was Caceres on the near side. Gets it in. Dangerous positioning here. Fakes a shot. Very patient Brusa offense. What you like to see in the game of futsal. Just a nice playmaking, passing back and forth. Good defense here to deflect. And off the shoulder of a Gloom player. Sends it back out wide. Wilson will reset. That's out to Vasey, excuse me. Lima. Wants to get it past the defender. A little too high. Maldonado checks back in. That's Carlos on the far side. Maldonado sends it out wide. Wanted something quick, not going to get it. Ball goes back the other direction. Vasey, now to Santos Torres. Ball makes its way to Caceres now. Turnover, wants to capitalize, counterattack. An opportunity here. A little bit of tripping and stuff going on. They don't get the call, but they get the ball out of bounds. So possession retains back. Here's Morales, near side, that #1 jersey. Get an open guy in the corner. Shot off the legs of Wilson. Second save of the day for Brusa. Leandro Carlos wants a quick shot. A little too high. So say what you want about Brusa. Patient offense. Great playmaking up to this point. No shots on goal. Certainly had shot attempts, just none of them in between the pipes as of yet. Actually, that's not true. Morales had one straight to the stomach early in this game. Make sure to mark that down. Here's Vasey. It's a team that's able to rotate very well. Caceres sends it back to Vasey on the far side. Vasey trying to pick apart this defense. Here's Santos Torres. Wants a shot off the leg of Morales. Now that's 2 saves for him. Caceres off the mark, but it did go off the leg of a Gloom player, so it is going to be a corner. Says roughly 12 minutes to go in the first half here, although this clock operator just lets this thing go. Shots off the mark, that's far right. We'll make sure to keep you updated as the camera swings back to the left side. You're able to see the clock in the top left corner of your screen. Here's Morales, sending it way down the court. I guess not. You were able to see it there at one point. So that's a turnover. Seeing 2 different types of offense early here for Brusa and for Santa Fe. Both have had success in the game. In general, I should say that. Thought that pass was off the mark. It ended up going off the foot of a Gloom player, so it is going to go out. Looks like a child is going to go grab the ball for Brusa. Great youth academy this Brusa team has. All youth academy players get into games free. Here's a shot, and in the goal! Opening up the scoring, Jonathan Caceres-Leiva. Unassisted. Throwing up the John Cena, you can't see me. Way to get us started here. And Chandler, Arizona's getting loud. Just over 8 minutes into the game. Santa Fe tried to score quick once again, and that's just a beautiful wonder shot for Caceres. On the opposite side of the court, able to put it in the back right part of the post. Here's Caceres once again. He wants another one. Trying to pick apart this defense. A little bit of foot magic. He has a teammate, Vasey, who's wide open. Not going to find him, though. Far side, evades a double team, but that pass a little too sloppy, so they have to reset. It goes out of bounds. It's a turnover in favor of the Gloom. Will we see David Fresquez on the court tonight? That was the indication I was given. He is wearing number 15, I believe. You see someone there with a long sleeve that doesn't have their jersey number showing. That could be him. Nice man, but I haven't met the man in person, so I don't know what he looks like. But the indication is that he is suited up and ready to go if need be. Oh, out of the goalpost is Morales, but Leandro Carlos sends the ball out of bounds. Thankfully for Santa Fe fans. Patrick Wilson, 2 saves on the night tonight. The Alaskan native, their typical keeper. Vasey sends it out wide. Starting to pick apart this defense. Not quite, though. Reset. Vasey out wide. Here's Santos Torres. Off the legs, and here's a turnover opportunity. Shot! Oh, very close. Urami Valdez 1-on-1 from distance. Just a little too far wide to the left. Hot take, David Fresquez with a Hattie. Oh, boy. I wonder what the odds on that are. Big thank you to all of our fans here in the comments. We got 66 watching live for the Eastern time, folks. It's a late night doubleheader. It's a nice save there from Patrick Wilson. Close and in person. Excellent save on the other side from Morales. Oh, but they are going to call it out of bounds. So not an official save, but excellent dive from Jorge Morales of Santa Fe to make sure that ball had no chance of going in. But a big thank you to all the fans watching on the second half of a doubleheader here on the NFPL YouTube channel. Watching Brusa FC, the host of the 2025 NFPL Championship. They hope to not only host the event, but also be the team participating on the Southwest Divisional side. They certainly have a chance. Tied for second in the Midwest right now. That shot a little too wide from Valdez. And the race is pretty much up for grabs all around. So these teams, now that the Santa Fe Gloom are not only out of the brace, but also out of games to play, these teams are going to be playing each other. So we'll start to see who the contenders and the pretenders are real soon. New Mexico and Brusa. Here's a shot. Valdez wants to capitalize, but he can't do it. Another breakaway opportunity wasted for Santa Fe. Ball resets. So as I was mentioning earlier, New Mexico and Brusa, both 9 points apiece. In Colorado, the runner-up of last year's NFPL championship game at 12 points for them. So still anybody's game, or still anybody's playoff race, I should say, with about a little less than a month to go. I do believe the semifinals will take place on April 12th. That Saturday, or that weekend, I should say. In the Midwest, everything's pretty much locked up. Futsal Factory undefeated up to this point now, 5-0. With their most recent win last week against Cadence, they have locked up the #1 seed. And I do believe Cadence, if they can secure another win against Inter Detroit, they will be the second place team taking place in the semifinals. I think Inter Detroit is 0-5 up to this point. So I'm not sure if a win from Inter would matter up to this point, but still fun to talk about nonetheless. Here's some excellent physical play going on deep in Santa Fe territory. It does look like David Fresquez is coaching. You see him jawing with the ref a little bit in the bottom of your screen. That he's now off camera now. Here's Valdez, past half court. Sends it back, Carlos. Got the ball in their hand the majority of these possessions. Morales, far side, off the leg of a Brusa player, so it goes back to Santa Fe. Just over 10 minutes into this game. Brusa with a 1-0 victory. Fairly simple game up to this point. I'm not going to say the F word, the F-O word, I should say, so nobody gets confused. But not a lot of those up to this point. It's been pretty clean from both sides. Don't want to jinx anything. I'm enjoying this pace of play between these two teams. Physical, but not too scrappy. It is going to be a timeout for Bruce as they look to recollect here. 1-0 to score. Brusa FC on top of Santa Fe. I'll be back in about 60 seconds. Ball back into play here for Brusa FC, or at least I thought so. Okay, now our timekeeper says it's good to go. Ball back into play. Brusa FC 3-1 up to this point. As I mentioned in the pregame, Santa Fe playing with a bit of a hodgepodge of players. A lot of folks making their season debut tonight, potentially their NFPL debut. Wasn't able to check that prior to receiving the roster this evening, but Leandro Carlos, who's typically the head coach, first time on the court for him, as well as Peter Tomas, Andrew Borrego, Cadence Alexander, and general manager David Fresquez, who looks like he's sporting the lawn sleeve there in the corner of your screen. Here's a shot. Oh, off the post. How do you not capitalize on that? Excellent save for Morales. But if you're that Brusa player, deep in the paint, that's got to go in. That was Brian Uribe, the Venezuelan, who's more than capable of scoring goals, not able to capitalize there. Oh, got to have that. Oh, jumping up in the air is Maldonado. Wanted a trick shot. Ended up tripping up Jan Brando de Nascimento instead. So the ball resets. That's Vargas now. This Brusa team head coached by Johnny Alves. A team that's head coached by committee. Here's Uribe. Over to Vasey now. Ball swinging around. Patient offense, Nascimento. Vasey, here's a shot. Wide off the mark. And you think with how hard these guys kick this dense futsal ball, you think you'd put dense here at Chandler Gilbert Community College. Thankfully, that has not been the case, or at least not as far as I can see on the camera, but I know firsthand how, how bad a futsal ball can damage equipment. Ball's out of bounds. We'll reset back to Santa Fe. Excellent futsal lines. Looks like taped on by the Brusa crew. Shots wide off the mark. Possession goes back to Brusa. So the Santa Fe team, it's not like they're getting blown out in games necessarily. Their only real blowout loss was an 8-3 loss to Colorado in early February, and that was on the second half of a doubleheader. There were some external factors, including the game being delayed, and they have to shift refs from the initial referee crew that they had. So there were some external factors that could have led to that game being as sloppy as it is. But a lot of these games, they're in it until the final whistle, whether it be down by 1 goal or 2. This has been a scrappy, young Santa Fe team up to this point. I apologize that our Santa Fe fans don't get to see those young players on full display this evening, but we'll do our best to highlight the guys that we have on the court right now. Shot just a little too far up. And a teammate wide and a teammate in the paint he probably could have hit. Instead takes a shot himself. Possession goes back to Santa Fe. It's not to take anything away from what the Gloom have done as an organization. Second season in the NFPL, made the semifinals last season. Certainly have a chance to get back there next season if the team remains the same and if those young players are able to return. Free kick. Inside, finds a teammate. He gets tripped up, no call. Dives on it is Patrick Wilson. Not sure if I have this count right, but I believe only 2 fouls on the day for Brusa. Ball goes off the head of Leandro Carlos. Crowd wants a handball. They're not going to get it. Vasey sends it out wide. They will reset. Bit of a 3-1 defense now. Goes straight into the chest of Maldonado, which sends it out back to Brusa. Nascimento back in. No, excuse me, that's Caceres. Lima, that's Nascimento. Shot blocked by Yerami Valdez, one of the better defensive players on this team. It's had an instant impact, at least, his defensive game. Oh, wanted that goal there. Goes off, I believe, the legs of a Brusa player. No, not quite. That shot's a little too wide. Caceres wanted to open up the scoring a little bit more. Carlos now back out to Valdez. It's going to be a turnover. 3-on-1 opportunity. Now 3-on-3. Great transition defense. Caceres wants a shot. Going to get blocked. And Morales able to stand over it, making sure that does not go into the back of the net. Excellent block there from the Santa Fe defense. Not sure who that ball was knocked off of, but great work. Who's Johnny Ruiz? Out to Carlos. Morales back in the offense. He's got Valdez near side, not going to find him. Here's a shot, and a goal! Santa Fe tying it up! Johnny Ruiz tying up this game, trying to send Santa Fe out on a good note. It's been a disappointing season so far, but man, it would feel good to knock Brusa down in their last game of the season. Tie game, 1 apiece. First goal of the day for Santa Fe. This is a team that can score and has proven so. Even though they have a bit of a hodgepodge team, it's been a lot of their mainstay players making the plays so far on offense and on defense for that matter. So Caceres now wanting to capitalize, find some man-to-man defense now. Ball gets back to, here's a counterattack opportunity. No, quickly stolen away by Caceres. Good defense there, good awareness to be able to snatch the ball out without drawing a foul. Excuse me, that was Santos, Felipe Santos on the takeaway there. Not gonna find his teammate in the paint is Brusa, so ball sent out wide to Santa Fe. Quick shot on offense, and it's a quick turnover. So ball goes back to Brusa. Some sort of delay a game call, I think. Not sure what that was. Apologies, folks. I missed that one. But they're going to have a free kick deep into the paint here. Carlos trying to make sure he understands what the call is. Everyone's going to get their 2 cents in. I mean, that's as deep as you can get. That's on the red circle. Cameras, it's tough to pick up. So you're going to have 3 Gloom players standing in front of the net. Here's a fake. Trying to set some sort of screen. It goes off the leg of Carlos, so it goes out for a corner. And you saw Joey Fuller make his first appearance tonight. He tried to set some sort of screen and knock Jorge Morales off his feet. Well, that's a tough ask. Martins wants a shot off the mark. Off the leg of Carlos once again. So 1-1 apiece, 2.5 minutes to go here in the first half. It's been an excellent matchup of 2 different styles of play. Excellent block there. Maldonado gonna get the chance potentially on the counterattack, not quite. Now here's the counterattack potentially. Instead it's a foul. Evens it up at 2 apiece in the foul game. And it looks like a Bruce player could have been seriously hurt on that, as he's going to stumble his way back to the bench. Look to confirm who that is. I do believe that's Felipe Santos jogging his way back. Able to stand on 2 feet. Good to see there. So Ruben Miranda from Brazil checks into the game for the first time today. Just such a deep Brusa roster. Really tough to put into the words unless I were to sit here and list all the players. And we'd be here longer than the game takes place. So ball sent out wide. Want someone inside. Court's a little slippery. Someone better wipe that up. Make sure none of our players get hurt out there. On either side, here we go. Counterattack opportunity here. Shot a little too far up. Off the leg of Matus Lima. And it looks like there is going to be a timeout called this time by the away side. 1-1 score here in Chandler, Arizona. Man, oh man, this has been a fun game to watch. We'll be back in a little bit. One-to-one score here, 2 minutes to go in the first half. Santa Fe in their last game of the season, Brusa in their first home game of the year. It's been a successful season for one side, an unsuccessful season for the other. Ball goes off the mark, so it's a quick turnover. Brusa will get possession back. Been an excellent game, 2 different styles of play so far, a lot of quick offensive possessions for Santa Fe, and Brusa playing. Oh, that is a tough hit to take. Got smoked, and everyone's going to have a word with the ref. The Brusa player in question is going to check on Johnny Ruiz, who went down with a tough kick to the leg. Not sure where exactly on the leg he was hit, but he is in pain. I hope that there's a trainer in the building. Looks like one of the game day assistants on the bottom of your screen is getting ready to have an ice pack for him ready. David Frusquez is going to have some words with the referee. There's certainly no ill intent on that kick. He was just going for the ball and ended up making incidental contact with Johnny Ruiz. And now there's some smack talk going on both sides. Good job by the referees to get right in the way. It is going to be a yellow card given to the Brusa player in question just off camera. Puts them at 3 fouls for the half. It is going to be number 9, Kawe Martins. So certainly no ill intent. Martins is not a guy who is going to be losing my train of thought here. There is certainly some concern all around the court for Johnny Ruiz. Looks like he's going to be able to get up to his feet. He's got an ice pack on the right shin, so must have been just above the shin pad. He is going to take a seat. Glad to see him doing well enough to be able to get off the court by himself. Oh, you hate to see that. Who scored for Gloom? It was Johnny Ruiz. It was the man in question who just took a seat on the bench. A little bit of towel wipe up on the court, making sure that no one else is going to slip after Ruiz took a tough hit to the leg. So ball back in play. Make sure to keep you updated on Ruiz and how he's feeling as the game goes on. Ball sent out really far. A quick turnover on the other side. '69 fans in the chat here, live in the second half of an NFPL doubleheader. We thank you for your support all season long, and especially tonight, especially for our folks on the Eastern time side. Here we go, quick turnover. Valdez wants it. He's going to go off the leg of Vasey. Excellent defensive play there to prevent the counterattack. So here's Carlos in the Fixo spot. Morales part of the offense. Ball swinging out wide. Misses his leg, but goes into Carlos's. Peter Tomas, who's now checked in for the first time this afternoon. It's a shot a pass deflected by Vasey. Vasey's such an active defender as well. Tried to steal the ball quickly there. It is going to turn into a counterattack opportunity. Here's Vasey, far side. But of a 1-on-4 going on, and he tries to get it to his teammate behind the back. Miscommunication, so it's a turnover, and possession goes back to Santa Fe. For a team that is 1-6, a team that's been ultra competitive against all of these Southwest teams, this has been such a fun game to watch. Initially, when I got the roster report and realized that I did not know a lot of the players, I shouldn't say a lot, a few of the players that were going to be making their season debut tonight, it had me worried a little bit that the same fight, that same hunger for this team wouldn't be there. It's nice to see Santa Fe trying to go out on a bang. Making Brusa think here on offense. Trying to be patient. Wanted number 5, Brian Vargas there. Deep in the zone, not going to be able to find him. 8 seconds left here in the first half. 1-1 the score. Ball sent out wide. It's going to be a pass directly to the other keeper. Not sure what Morales wanted there, other than to turn the possession over because he doesn't want his team to be on the other side of a counterattack, potentially. A little more than 3 seconds left on the clock, I see. So it's going to be Leandro Carlos kicking it off the leg of Vargas there. Only a few seconds left, though. Not sure what the time is on the court, but Wilson sending his team deep. On the other side, shot wouldn't have counted anyways. So it is going to be a 1-1 tie at halftime here. Such a fun game to watch. Two different styles of play for Brusa and for Santa Fe. This is what you want to see in the Southwest Division of the National Futsal Premier League. I'll be back in a little bit with the halftime report. We'll get you updated on the stats up to this point. Welcome to the halftime report here. Chandler, Arizona, Chandler Gilbert Community College. Brusa FC, the host of the 2025 National Futsal Premier League Finals. In about a month from now, it's crazy to think how fast the time has flown. I don't know. It's crazy to think how time has passed so quickly throughout this season. There you go. Let's talk about the stats here. It's an equal amount of saves for both sides. Not a lot of shots on goal. Just 4 total for each. Patrick Wilson, the Alaskan native, only 4 goals allowed the last time around. 3 saves on the day, 1 goal allowed from Johnny Ruiz. But the game started with a lot of non-scoring, a lot of non-shots on. Winning Jorge Morales, only 3 saves for him. But it was Jonathan Caceres Leiva who scored 2 goals in the January 18th game when these teams played at Santa Fe, who scored just a little before halfway into the first half. And a little bit of back and forth defensive physical action would take place until Johnny Ruiz would score with about 4 minutes left to go in the first half. Now 3 minutes after that, Johnny Ruiz would take a hard kick to the shin, just above the shin pad. He would need to get an ice pack and sit down. We'll try to keep you updated on his condition and if he's going to be able to continue to go here. But for Brusa, it's been a successful season up to this point. You hate to see them with a pretty big blemish just halfway through the season up to this point. And for Santa Fe, it's their last game of the year. They want to go out on a bang. They want to go out with a win, get themselves more than 3 points. They're out of playoff contention up to this point, 1-6 record for them. But it's been an entertaining game nonetheless so far. Second half of our doubleheader. Eastern time, 10:46, and Arizona Daylight Time, 7:46 over there. So you're getting a lot of action from the Brusa Academy team in the middle of your screen. That's been the halftime report. My name is Garrett Pogg. Thank you so much for joining us here in the National Futsal Premier League YouTube channel. We'll be back in about 6 minutes or so with the second half. Play getting ready to start back here. Chandler, Arizona, home of Brusa FC, at least for tonight. Not sure if they'll have multiple home locations like plenty of our teams have. You see some Brusa players getting down and with the music playing. It's number 5, Brian Vargas, showing off the moves there. Got to give it up for these two teams. A lot of adversity when it comes to this game, especially when a lot of your team is based in overseas. This play will resume. We'll take that halftime marker off as we get ready for the second half here. The music just continues to play over the speakers. Hey, I'm with it. I can get down with it. Not sure where our timekeeper went, as that shot is off the mark. Turns into a quick corner. So the music continues to play, and we got play resuming on the court. Here's Yarmy Valdez. Oh, excellent save, Patrick Wilson. Using every fingertip to keep that ball from going in. Excellent block there by Vasey. Wants a one-on-one shot. Oh, and he slips. Had a perfect opportunity, still does. Shot just over the mark for Matus Lima. We're going to say time is going to be kept on the court for now. We'll do our best to update you as the game goes on. Again, not sure what happened. Their timekeeper in Chandler, Arizona. But it's been an excellent game so far. Brusa FC, Santa Fe tied 1-1. That's a shot. Oh, just over the net. Wilson not able to get there. And here we go. There's our timekeeper. That's what we like to see. Ball back into play here. That's Lima. Sends it out wide. Vasey wants to get it back to Lima. He will. Man-to-man defense for Santa Fe. Past the legs of Carlos. Now trying to get a counterattack. Carlos wanted it, not going to be able to capitalize. Excellent defense by Vasey. Probably the best defensive player on the court tonight. They want a foul, they will. They'll get it. You got to reset the fouls as well. First foul of the second half here. Pretty clean game up to this point. I won't mention that dreaded F word that rhymes with owls, the animal. Valdez wants something quick. Not able to get it. Just a little too much zip on that ball. Had a teammate in the far corner. Excellent showing from our academy players and family. And here in Chandler, Arizona. Filling up the stands here of Chandler Gilbert Community College. No call there. They wanted it, and they'll get it. Pretty late whistle there from the referee on the far side, but regardless. Their call stands. Referee crew here for the night: Mitchell Christensen, Aaron Browning Madsen, excuse me, and the near side ref, Hernan Pena. So big thank you to them and their services tonight. We're just a couple minutes into the second half. Almost Jorge Morales not recognizing that there was a bit of a 1-on-2 deficit for Santa Fe back in their own home court. We'll go ball sent as a 1-on-2. And that's going to be Jorge Morales getting off there, and he kicks it out of bounds intentionally, so it is going to be a corner here. Excuse me, some sort of side out. Against the baseline. Trying to move stuff out of his way so he can get to the ball, get the positioning that he wants. 3 Brusa players set up. Some sort of set piece. This is what they specialize in on offense. That and their slow-paced, excuse me, offense as well. Vasey wants something, not going to get it. They want a foul, and they will get it. Fresquez clapping his hands, trying to make sure that the ref saw what was taking place. Only 4 fouls throughout all the first half. 3 already with less than 3 minutes into the second half. Should not have mentioned that dreaded F word. Ball sent out wide. Just a little too far over the head of Johnny Ruiz, who's back on 2 feet. Glad to see him back on the court now. Yellow shoes and all. Look at that highlight color, not yellow like the Brusa referees. Or not referees, excuse me, the players. Here's Vasey. Backside. Matus Lima finds his teammate. That's an excellent pass, but it's broken up by Valdez, excuse me. The Guatemalan native. Ball sent out straight into the hands of Patrick Wilson. First save of the afternoon. Excuse me, first save of the second half for PEW. Matus Lima wants his teammate broken up. Leandro Carlos, 1-on-2, excuse me, 3-on-2 it was, and Santa Fe now recognizing the opportunity they had in front of them, so ball will go out of bounds. But still in favor of Santa Fe. Ruiz to put it back in, he will. A little slippage going on. That's Vasey that wants a call, not gonna get it. Matus Lima sends it back in. And he did not set the ball properly according to the referee, so that's their 3rd foul of the second half already. Just a little over 3 minutes into the second half. Morales getting involved in the offense. Here's Valdez, wants Ruiz. Valdez, shot off the chest of Wilson, blocked. That was a shot by Carlos on the other side. Ball will go out of bounds. So Santa Fe retains possession, but wow, excellent save off the chest of Patrick Wilson. Here's Carlos, the near side, over the head. Wilson making sure that Maldonado had no chance at it. Side out for Brusa. Here's Caceres. He scored the only goal for Brusa up to this point. Able to retain possession. Vasey. Caceres out wide. Some sort of sweep. And oh my goodness. They're gonna call a foul on Santa Fe, I believe. Inside that dreaded circle, so. It looked like they were both tugging on each other. I don't know how you would call that, personally. Leandro Carlos is frustrated, but he certainly had his arms around the waist of the Brusa player there. I believe that's Jan Brando de Nascimento, but it is going to be a penalty kick, so a chance for Brusa to take the lead here. Who else but Jonathan Caceres, ready to take it. To take the lead. Caceres in the net! Easy money! Jonathan Caceres! 2-1. And that's a frustrating one if you're a Gloom fan, but especially because both players had their hands kind of wrapped around each other. I'm sure you could replay, go look back and see. Seemed like the call went in favor of the offense on that one. Have to make sure that that stays the same, roughly. the rest of this game, and that's the shot in the back of the net. Oh my goodness! Maldonado! Holy moly! An incredible undershot over the head of Patrick Wilson. Tied this game up 2 apiece. Here we go, another quick attack on the other side. Oh, wanted something quick was Brusa. And what are we gonna see? A foul in favor of Brusa. They're gonna get another penalty shot. Chaos. No, not quite. They're gonna say it's gonna go on the outside of the circle. I was gonna say, I'm not sure you can call that one a So 4 fouls for the away side now. 1 away from another penalty shot. We've given up 1 already. Defense set up here for Santa Fe. Vasey sends it. Santos wants it off the leg of Maldonado. It's a corner. So excuse me, I got the foul count wrong. So it is 2 for Brusa. It's 4 for Santa Fe. My apologies there. Ball cleared out by Maldonado. Santa Fe, Brusa wanted a foul, not gonna get it. It was all ball there. Play continues. Shot just a little too wide of the net. But it's a tough angle to take a shot on, so nothing there, but the game's still tied 2 apiece. Ball sent out way on the other side. Easy turnover for Santa Fe. Now Brusa will take possession once again. Caceres scored the 2 goals of the evening for Brusa. 1 off a penalty. Excellent ball movement here. Caceres once again sends it back to Vasey. It's been excellent on defense all throughout the evening. Pat Wilson. Sends it out. Here's Santos. Off the leg of Valdez. Wants a handball, not gonna get it. Collision mid-court. No call there. Leandro Carlos is laying flat on the ground. Almost flat, I should say. Valdez gonna make his case known. It's just an on-court collision, so I'm not sure you could call it either way there. Kids are chanting, but it looks like Carlos is down. I don't want to say for the count, but he is definitely in pain. That was a tough collision to take, at least from the looks of it. Now laying flat on his back, it looks like he is going to be able to get back up potentially here. Carlos able to get up on both feet, take a seat on a bench. He'll look to recover after he got the wind knocked out of him, it looks like. Play continues. Just a little under 8 minutes, into the second half. Tied 2 apiece. It's been an excellent game, and another one! Hat trick! The native from Chile has been the entire offense for Brusa. Not able to catch who got the assist on that one, but excellent positioning there off the ball to be able to give himself a chance to score for the third time tonight. Excellent work here. Here's Valdez trying to get his team back into it. Last time Brusa scored a goal, Santa Fe scored a goal within less than a minute, so Santa Fe still has that chance, even though it's a tough thing to do. Vasey will put it back in. Play resumes in Bruce's possession, deep in their own territory. Press defense, trying to knock him off his feet. That's Vargas with possession now. Excellent defensive breakup. Here's the counterattack. This is what Bruce is trying to avoid. That's how Santa Fe's been able to score so far tonight, is off those counterattack plays. Here's Vasey. Scott Lima to his right, finds him. Ball sent around the paint. Wants something inside, broken up by Maldonado. Ruiz. Now Valdez gets the ball back. That's Andrew Borrego letting that ball go out of bounds. Possession goes back to Brusa. Nascimento puts the ball back in as he checks in for the Arizona team. Here we go. Opportunity to paint for Vargas. We saw him put the moves on the dance floor just after halftime. Not able to put the moves there on the ball. His possession will go back towards Santa Fe, I think. Ball bouncing around here a little bit. Bruce able to retain, even though it's a 1-on-2 towards the sideline. He's got a chance. Nascimento was open. Not able to find him, though. Excellent deflection there by either Ruiz or Valdez. One of their clever set pieces here. Brusa. Oh, wanted Caceres there deep in the danger zone, potentially for his fourth goal. It's going to be Nascimento here in the corner. Shot, sent, blocked, and saved by Morales. That's his first save of the second half. Say what you want about the Santa Fe team. 1-6. It's been an unsuccessful season. A lot of their top goal scorers and main players not in attendance tonight. But this team has fought tooth and nail for the entirety of the game so far. All 28 minutes that have been played. Just such a fun thing to see. Great crowd atmosphere here in Chandler, Arizona. This is exactly what you want. You talk about the growth of the futsal game. You want every game to look like this. Wilson saves it in. Not saves, but keeps it in, I should say. I'm gonna watch my language on that one. Tuz Lima takes the ball back to Nascimento. What the hell is that? Caceres wants Nascimento. He will find him. Ball broken up by Leandro Carlos. Good to see him back on his feet. Ball sent out wide. Shot a little too high from Brian Vargas. Ball will come back into play. Let's not get crazy with our camera work here. It's not an action scene. We don't need anything handheld, as far as I know. Although there's been a lot of action on the court. 3-2 score. A little over 12 minutes to play here. Such a fun game, such a interesting way of playing these two teams have had up to this point. Now we got a little bit of shaky cam if we're going back to our action scenes here. Ball sent out of bounds. Looked like the Academy kids wanted to grab it. Just a little too far for them. Something is taking place. Not quite. Looks like Johnny Ruiz is going to be the one to put it back in. He will. That's Borrego. Hasn't had a lot of playing time. It's been a lot of the same players here. At least the same 6 for Santa Fe. Those new players making their season debut have only been called upon in desperate times and measures, such as Andrew Borrego, who just sent it back in. Leandro Carlos now back to Morales. As we're off. That shot directly into the chest of Wilson. We'll call that a save. Vasey, once again, he's played pretty much the entire game. Excellent block there from Carlos to send it out. Matus Lima kicks it off the leg of Borrego, so Wilson's able to keep the ball in possession, keep that clock rolling. Trying to walk out of here with a victory. They want to earn that victory so they can be tied for first place. That is what's on the line for Brusa. For Santa Fe, they're playing, I don't want to say for funsies, but in terms of playoff standing, that is what it is at this point. And it's nice to go out on a high note. You want to remember your last game coming out on a win. It's like when you're going to an open gym, you want to make your last shot before you leave. If we're talking basketball, that is. Or any sport for that matter. Quarterback pass, header, not quite. Another save for Wilson. Top quality futsal from both sides to this point. That's Joey Fuller, hasn't seen a lot of playing time tonight. Here's Vasey, he's seen a lot. Tries to get it past Valdez, not quite. He will retain possession, though. And we'll have Matus Lima, who's going to send it in. Vasey wants a goal, not going to get it. Excellent save. And a little backwards kick is going to go into the hands of Morales. Excellent save there. Morales here. Here's a shot off the right foot of Wilson. Shot taken by Peter Tomas. That's a shot blocked by Vasey. When the game of futsal continues to grow and gets a little more advanced, we got to keep shots blocked as a stat. I imagine Vasey leads the night in those by a wide margin. Joey Fuller. Excuse me, that is Alexis Flores in his season debut. Looked like 12, it's actually 17. Vasey's led the charge on offense and on defense for the majority of the evening. Jorge Morales is calling for a timeout. They're going to grant it to him. They're not going to as of yet. Thank you, Hal and Matt, for subscribing to the NFPL YouTube channel. Thank you for your support. And thank you to everybody who's in the chat tonight. 78 strong here on the late night futsal matchup between Brusa and Santa Fe. The swan song for the Gloom on the 2024-25 season. And for Brusa, just the start of their home schedule before they host the championship final. Potentially the semifinal if this game continues or stands the way it is. They would be tied for first in the Southwest. Able to save it in, not quite. Possession turns over. So timeout is going to be taken by Santa Fe. Down by 1. 7.5 minutes left to go. Whew! This has been so much fun to watch. We'll be back on the other side of this. Excellent crowd atmosphere for Brusa in their home debut. A lot of Academy kids in attendance, as well as family members, friends, I'm sure. A lot of fans and family members and friends of the players here in the chat as well. Thank you for being active as always. Those familiar with futsal, those not, all are welcome here in the NFPL YouTube channel. It's great to see. Morales back on offense. That's Carlos sending out wide. I believe that's Valdez on the far side. Looks like a 1-2-1 defense for Brusa. It's going to be Joey Fuller putting the press on, and that's an easy goal for number 17, Alexis Flores, in his season debut. Widening the score margin just a little bit more. Ball back in play. Quick work here. Peter Tomas now checked in. With about 8.5 minutes left to go. Brusa scores on a wide open net. That is the danger of taking your keeper out of the net. As you open yourself up to those opportunities, you need quick, agile keepers in order to be able to do risky things like that. Andrew Carlos gonna trip the opposition, not gonna call for it. Ball sent off the legs of a Brusa player. Referee blew his whistle. Not sure why that was there. Maybe just to get the ball back to where it's supposed to be. So Santa Fe going to take their keeper out of the net. Ooh, almost had a shot. Peter Tomas had a wide open net, not able to capitalize. The ball slipped right past his foot. Ball back in play. Nascimento, almost a turnover. Able to recover here. Santa Fe faking the press defense. Able to create a turnover for themselves here. Valdez finds someone on the far side. Shot just a little too far. Oh, Santa Fe easily could have the tie or the lead if they're able to take advantage of these opportunities in the net. Patrick Wilson, 8 saves on the day, has had some fortunate misses his way. Quick shot off the mark there from Atu Salima. That ball off the foot of Kawe Martins. Andrew Carlos now going to find Morales on the far side. Valdez back as well. Maldonado gets that ball sent out by a Brusa player. Roughly 6.5 minutes to go here in the second half. Santa Fe trying to end their season on a high note. Brusa trying to take a tie into the first place as they go into a doubleheader weekend next weekend against New Mexico Flagship. And that's another net, another goal. Jan Brando de Nascimento. Woo! Excellent playmaking there. Had that drawn up the whole way. Great celebration there. Nascimento, last time these teams played, he had an assist. This time, scores a goal. 5.5 to go. And Brusa just continues to widen that gap. Great work there. That's just pure playmaking. They had that drawn up the whole way. Ball goes out of bounds in favor of Brusa. So Morales is going to have to go back into the net. Shot straight into the hands of Morales. Almost another goal. Oh, not quite. Caceres wanted it. Not going to be able to capitalize on that. Sixth save of the day for Jorge Morales. Ball back on the other side. Now Bruce is going to take advantage. He might go coast to coast. Not quite. Here's Lima. Has him on his feet. Easy goal. Easy money. Brusa has taken over. This time it's the head coach, the GM, the doer of all, Kyle Way Martins. And now there's been a time extension. There's now 9 minutes left in the game, not 6.5 minutes. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's actually 6 minutes left. We were correct initially. Not sure our timekeeper took care of that. It is going to be a timeout, I imagine. Well, there's only one timeout on each side, so this has to be for Brusa. They're going to let that clock tick down as we have 6.5 minutes left to go here in the game. We'll be back on the other side of this. Ball back in play. It will start in the hands of Patrick Wilson. 8 saves on the evening. Has had some fortunate misses on Santa Fe's side. And the camera's now out. Come on. Look to restore. Here we go. Lost audio. We'll make sure to get everything back in check. Here's Santos. Finds Vasey. Back to Santos here. Who was that? It's going to be Brian Uribe, who hasn't had as much playing time as he typically does this evening. Leandro Carlos now back in possession. Over to Jorge Morales. Oh, hey, there we go. Leandro Carlos now receiving possession once again. Urami Valdez wants another header. Goes off the hands of Patrick Wilson. Another save for him. He's had double the amount that he had in the first half now. Roughly 5 minutes to go here in the second half. Clock operator, a little asleep at the wheel. We won't judge him or her, though. Here's Santos. Now starting to get some more players' opportunities, but I'll be honest, Micah Vasey has probably played every single minute in this game. I'm not sure if he's taken a seat yet. Just incredible. Ooh, that is a tough shot to take. That was Felipe Santos getting a little too aggressive. He kicked the ball up into the air and then tried to skate around a defender. Ended up taking a ball right to the dome. Looks like some players are signaling no's. Like, gonna get him some water. They are gonna let him take a seat on the Santa Fe bench, excuse me, as they look to make sure that everything's okay. This clock is stopped, so I'm not sure why it's continuing to run, but ball is back into play. Gotta make sure players on the court are still aware, even though they're checking on their teammate. Here's Ruiz. press defense here. 4-goal lead for Brusa, not enough. That ball goes out of bounds on a lazy pass. I say Vasey's played every minute. Looks like he's going to take a seat now, as it is going to be Caceres checking back in. The hat trick for him tonight, Matus Lima. Lima once again now sends it out. Here's Uribe. Lima near side, guarded by Leandro Carlos, head coach, player extraordinaire. He's able to get past him. Oh, excellent save. Jorge Morales. Extending that right leg to send that ball way wide. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it went off the post. So excuse me there. This possession is going to go back to Santa Fe. Ball's going to be sent out on a wide open net, but it's too far wide to the left. 3:45 here to go in the second half. Ball sent out wide. Possession is going to retain for Santa Fe. Brusa not happy with it. I mean, if you're just joining us, this has been such an entertaining game to watch. Excellent block there from Caceres. Caceres was their entire offense for a period of time. Matus Lima wanted the ball. He scored the opening 3 goals for Brusa to give himself a hat trick, and since then it's been all Brusa on offense. Goals scored by Flores, Nascimento, and Kawe Martins as well. And Alexis Flores in his season debut able to score his first goal of the season. Excellent to see there. A little bit of trippiness going on. And that ball's going to go way into the back of the net. Santa Fe wants the foul. Who was that? Give me a number. Still missing a number on that. I apologize. We'll make sure to get that before the evening is over. And like I said, Brusa is just taken over. It was about halfway through the second half when you could see Santa Fe start to get a little fatigued on offense and on defense for that matter, and Brusa just started to pour in the goals on a 5-0 run at the moment. Ball sent out wide again. Ball being sent around here. That goal was scored by number 6, Ruben Miranda, who scored a goal in the January 18th game. With roughly 3 minutes to go. And for Santa Fe, they're just gonna have to play this out, as they are gonna end the season 1-7. Just such a harsh fall to take after they finished, what, 5-4-1 last season, if I have that right? Maybe just 5-4, I believe. And for Brusa, they'll slide into a first-place tie with Colorado Futsal Academy going into a doubleheader weekend next weekend against New Mexico. the flagship that is. And in terms of playoff standing, to give yourself a chance to at least be in the top two. Potentially the #1 seed might come out of that weekend, depending if one team is able to split the series, if they're able to sweep them. If it ends up being a split, it kind of murkies the water a little bit more for the Southwest Divisional playoff standings. It's been such a fun division to watch. And even though Santa Fe hasn't played up to their best, they've still been competitive. This is a very competitive game for roughly 30 minutes for Santa Fe, but they've been sticking to a rotation of 6 or 7 players. It's just very tough to not get fatigued at that point. So even though the score line is going to read, Brusa scores blowout win, yada, 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 it gives Santa Fe some credit. They came into this game, 5 players making their season debut. Or 5 of them were supposed to. 2 of them didn't even step onto the court. Cadence Alexander never took the court tonight. Neither did David Fresquez. So just a hodgepodge collection. They still came out, played their heart out. Last game of the year for them against this tough Brusa team and an amazing crowd as well. But the Swan Song's going to end in defeat for Santa Fe. So the future is still bright for the Gloom, though. If they were to maintain that young rotation that they had, there's a definite possibility of them being in semifinals contention next season. How the Southwest will look next season for the NFPL, how the NFPL will look in general, is always an interesting question, especially the volatility of futsal. Different teams being willing to compete, willing and not willing to compete in our league and other leagues at certain moments in time. It's always a point of discussion amongst futsal fans. This is an excellent counterattack play right here. Another save there for Morales. Just a couple seconds left to go here. Santa Fe trying to make the scoreline look a little bit better, as the crowd is going to make a ton of noise here in Chandler, Arizona, letting their team hear it. As far as I'm concerned, or as far as I'm aware, I should say, the rest of these games for Brusa will be at home, including next weekend's doubleheader. Both of those games will be at home as well. And they are the host of the championship final, regardless of who makes it to the semifinals. In the Midwest, it'll either be Futsal Factory or Cadence SFC making their way out. It looks like Inter Detroit has been eliminated at an 0-5 record up to this point. But for the Southwest, a lot of futsal left to play, so don't count any team in or out in terms of the top 3. 4 seconds left before this becomes curtains. An excellent scoring flurry for Brusa. A lot of players getting their time in. 1 second left. Vasey will put it in to end the game. 0.6 seconds, excuse me. And that is going to be it. Brusa on top, 7-2, the final score. Caceres with a hat trick of his own. Ruiz and Maldonado with highlight plays of their own. But it's Brusa taking home another 3 points and moving up to a tie for first place in the Southwest Division with Colorado Futsal Academy. A big shout out to Alexis Flores as well, scoring his first goal of the season in his season debut. Jan Brando Damascento scoring, as well as Kawe Martins and Ruben Miranda. For all the fine folks here at Brusa FC from Chandler, Arizona, and from Ann Arbor, Michigan, where I'm remotely broadcasting. My name is Garrett Pogg. Thank you so much for joining us on a late night of futsal. Have a good night.